Hello and welcome to iForgeAhead software. This video tutorial demonstrates how to have iForgeAhead automatically send your client a text notice whenever you send them an invoice by email. As we get started with this feature, I want to point out that there are three different levels of control. The system level controls is where we'll start and allows you to turn the feature on and set your default wording of the text message. There are also controls for individual contacts and for individual invoices. To get started, let's return to iForgeAhead, and from anywhere in the system, go to the menu bar at the top, and under Settings, go to All Settings. On this page, we'll click on Settings for Invoices. The first few sections of this page have been described in previous tutorials as you've set up your invoicing in iForgeAhead, but we've added some new settings towards the bottom that deal with this feature. And it begins with the section that says Enable Text Message Notices. Unlike emailing, when we send text messages from iForgeAhead, we do incur a cost for each message that is sent. So to try to cover that cost, we charge you a small amount for this service. If you're already subscribed to appointment reminders by text message, that subscription will cover this feature as well. When you're in the free trial for iForgeAhead, you can use this feature at no cost. But other than that, you will need to subscribe. And the low cost is just a little over $2 per month. It's billed once a year at $27 per year. The next section down allows you to set the default wording of the text message your client will receive. We give you a starter message, but you can change this in any way. And you can also change this message on an individual invoice. You'll notice that the text includes a dollar symbol, and as explained on the left, this is a placeholder that will be replaced when the message is constructed before it's sent. It will be replaced with the amount of the invoice. If you don't want the dollar amount included on the text message, that's fine. Just remove the dollar symbol. You can modify this message any way you want, and once you have it as needed, click the Save button. Now that takes care of our system level settings. So returning to our diagram, we're now going to deal with specifying which contacts will usually receive a text notice of an invoice and which will not. When we return to iForgeAhead, we'll start with this checkbox, and this deals with new clients that are added to the system from this point forward. After that, we'll use this button to deal with the clients that are already in the system. So to answer this question, you just need to think, am I going to use this for most of my clients to receive a text notice of their invoices, or only a few? For this example, I'll say that I'm only going to use this feature for just a few of my clients. So instead of having it checked, I will leave it unchecked, and all new clients that are added going forward will have that set to no. Now here is where we can manage that by individual contacts of your current contacts in the system. When you click that link, you'll have a list of all of your active clients, and initially they'll all be set to say no text with invoice. You can edit any individual contact one at a time by using the pencil symbol or in groups. I'm going to start with a group by saying that, like I said, I'm not going to send them to most of my clients, but there are a few that I'd like to always send a text notice of their invoice. And I'll select those here. And once I have that group selected, we'll return to the action panel, and this drop-down button will now be available, and I'll select the Yes option. Once I do that, the screen is refreshed, and those clients now, it's very clear to see which ones are set to receive text notice reminders. Now, we've got some additional information over here in red saying that we need to deal with that information. The system does not assume that any specific type of phone number can receive a text message. So we need to tell it which phone numbers are capable of receiving a text message. I'll show you that one at a time using the edit symbol for Breezy Acres. And I've got the list of their phone numbers here. And I'm going to say that I want the text messages to go to their mobile number. And I'll click the edit pencil and click Use for Texts, and then click Save. Now when I close that, the screen is updated and Breezy Acres, instead of red, is now showing black, which means everything's ready to go. Now, before you start doing those one at a time though, we do have a tool that will be very helpful for this step in the process. Just click Mark Phones for Text, and you'll have a list of all the different types of phone numbers you have in your system. Select the ones that you know are capable of receiving text messages. I'll select Cell and Mobile, and then click this button that says Mark these selected types to be able to receive text messages. Now the screen is updated and most of our information is now in black and is ready to go. This particular client evidently did not have a mobile or cell number. You can click the edit pencil to deal with those kind of situations one at a time. So that concludes the setup, and now we'll go into individual invoices and see how to use this feature. From Money Matters, we'll click on Invoices. And we're just going to click any finalized invoice here. And we're going to go to Print Email Invoice. And once the invoice is previewed, then you'll be able to select the Email This Invoice panel. Now, if you've been using this feature, you'll already be familiar with this portion which handles the email. We've added some features called text notification features, which is optional. And these buttons mean that this information can be collapsed or displayed. So if it's not already showing, go ahead and click on the green bar and it'll open up. Breezy Acres, you'll remember we had set to receive notices, so it's already checked. Their phone number is in, and here's the message that they'll receive. This again can be modified before you send the actual text message. If any of this information is missing, for example, if there was not a good phone number, then the button will not be enabled. It'll be gray. So this is highlighting in red that we're missing some information. So if you're seeing this, you'll either need to fill in the phone number, or you can turn off this feature, this check mark, and then just send the email without a text message. So we'll go back and put that in, and then it is all ready to go, and the button is ready, and you just click this and your customer will receive both an email and a text message about this invoice. That concludes this tutorial. Thanks very much, and thanks for choosing iForgeAhead.